Haley, Jay, first game under your belts. How do you feel?
It feels good to be on the court going back up and down again.
And I agree with her. I think it felt really good to just have something feel normal again and to be able to play as a team.
Sure.
Haley, you're obviously going to have a much bigger role this year, especially at that center position. How equipped do you feel to really be that primary center on this team?
It feels good. I know I really have to step up to the plate from the center we had last year. She was a really big part of our team, but I feel ready and motivated, and I feel like I could be a good part of this team to fill in that position.
Along those lines, Haley, you clearly have a much bigger role than you had last year. How have you embraced that, or what have you done to gain that confidence to step into a starting spot?
I think it's just the mindset, knowing that, oh, I really want this, I'm going to go get it, and having that mindset of it's really go time and stepping up to the plate.
Question for the players. After the start, obviously the game did not go the way you wanted. How much do you want to get back out on the floor quickly to show really what LaSalle basketball is about?
Definitely immediately. I think just to have the opportunity to play right away too is very special. And I think that this just lights a fire and that we'll just be ready to go for the next game.
I agree. And also next game, we'll be able to have everybody on our team playing as one. So that's going to feel good as well.
How tough is it to play, when the other team gets off to the start that they did? How tough is it to play from behind?
I don't think it's really tough. I think it's, like I said earlier, our mindset thing. We have to buckle down on defense and really get after it so we can close that gap and get our game going of how we play.
Mm-hmm. I agree with Haley. I think that when you put yourself in a hole, like it's just a mental thing. You just got to believe that you can get out of that situation and just play and don't let anything change and phase you.
Jay, this was your first game, and you really came on strong in your career debut. What should we expect to see from your game? What kind of game would you describe yourself that we should look to moving forward this year?
I believe I'm a downhill player, so I think getting to the basket, definitely got to work on shooting and stuff, but definitely getting to the basket and trying to be a scorer and help our team.
Any other questions to the student athletes?
Oh, good.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Thanks.
Hey, gang.
Hey.
I guess opening statement. I just want to say, on the record that I am just really grateful taking the court tonight and appreciative of all the work that our athletics administration has done just to get us to this point. The investment they've made in us to allow us to be able to have a season and play. Preparing for today, I was just kind of overwhelmed with that. Like, this is a gift to be able to have this opportunity to come out here and compete. And LaSalle's making it happen for these young ladies and for this coaching staff. And, from, Denise and Zach and through Brian's direction, just sorting everything out to put on game night is a real task. And then Nina, our athletic trainer, just taking great care of our kids. We went through a lot over the last couple of weeks, and Nina's been just working her tail off to get us back out on the court. And we're really blessed to have such dedicated people supporting our program. All the way down to the scorers table and the refs. Everybody has to make, you guys wearing masks and shields and, making sacrifices to do this. Just, game one, just really pleased to have an opportunity to do it. Obviously, we weren't good tonight. I don't know how much I was expecting, having one practice under our belt before going out there. I'm really pleased with what you saw from Jay. I was pleased we didn't quit when we got down early, and it looked really like it was going to be a bigger runaway than it was. I mean, it was enough of a runaway as it was, but the team showed a little bit of fight, and playing without, we had 5 kids standing on the baseline, and those kids will all probably contribute at some point. So those bodies would have helped. And we just got to be tougher. We got to be more disciplined transition wise. And, you know, you got to make shots and stop the other team from making shots. I mean, you can't let them shoot 54% and only shoot 30% and expect to win a basketball game. Pleased we got more attempts than them. That's a good starting point. And, you know, wasn't disappointed with the pace of the game. We got to be better than tonight.
How do you frame tomorrow in preparation for Wednesday, especially coming off such a great end of last season and the momentum, not letting this be a hurdle?
Yeah, well, I mean, the beauty of it is that, you know, tomorrow's practice erases today's game. Today's game is over when we start practice tomorrow. And we have another contest to get right back on the horse. And listen, we're still not going to be ready on Wednesday either. That doesn't mean that we're not going to be much better than tonight. Doesn't mean that we're not going to get a win, but like, we are a far cry from where we were 3 weeks ago, and we're working our way back there. And in the same boat as everybody in America this year, like, not having played anyone else before you play your first game is a really weird thing. And, you know, that was, I think, a decent advantage for Towson, having already played ECU before they played us. And I'm glad that we'll have a game under our belt. We'll be on the same page as Monmouth because they had won against Rutgers.
Mountain, not much time to prepare, obviously, you know, everything being in flux the way it was. When you finally got back out on the court in this game, what do you think was the more telling factor? Was it the speed of the game or strength of the game?
It was everything. I mean, we got out muscled, we got out quick, we got out shot. You know, at times we got out executed, but yeah, I think the number one thing is, you know, not having a couple of your better players and having an entire team that's just not in basketball condition after 2.5 weeks off.
Was there anything?
But no sour grapes. Like, hey, we wanted to play this game, and we're glad that today's game was a first step toward playing better on Wednesday, which is a first step toward playing better the game after that. Like, this is a process, and we're embracing that, and just really grateful to have a chance to even play basketball.
You talk about the performance of Haynes, you know, what she contributed tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Jay and I had a heart-to-heart. You know, I talked to every kid before our first game, just kind of laying the roles and where they were, and you know, told her she had a golden opportunity with a couple kids out to make the most of it. I think the transition from high school to college has been a challenge in practice with the details and getting all those things right. But as she showed tonight, like, she's a player and she went out there and made plays, and really, really happy for her. I think that took a little of the stress off the daily grind of Coach Mountain being on her back. So I'm happy for her.
Thank you, Mountain.
Defensively, is there any concern besides just you haven't been able to play, haven't been able to practice? Is there anything else that you're worried about, especially maybe in transition?
I'm gonna have to look at the tape. You know, obviously we have our worries in general, but you know, early on, right? I mean, you saw the difference between the first quarter and the second quarter. I don't know how much of it was our defense, right? The difference in the 2 quarters is that we scored on offense, and then all of a sudden our defense didn't look so bad. But if you go down and turn it over, you go down and miss badly, and they're off to the races every possession, it's hard to play defense, especially if you're the slower team. So scoring a little bit helped. So, you know, 42% in the second quarter, and that was an even quarter, 19-19. Well, 23% in the first, 30% in the third, 26% in the fourth. I know everybody's going to look at the 95 points, and I'm going to tell you that's more of a reflection of how poor we were on offense than how poor we were on. And, you know, conditioning was a factor in our defensive performance, but we got to just put the biscuit in the basket. Defense will come. It's always worse in the beginning of the year. So.
Final question for Coach?
Anything else, gang?
All good.
Thanks
Thank
for being
you.
here.
Thanks, Mountain.
Absolutely. Thank you.